Are you tired of falling short of your New Year's resolution to get in shape? Let 2008 be the year you get the body you've always dreamed of. Merit Athletic Clubs will guarantee you the results, or they'll give you your money back. Call 1-800-NEW-SHAPE and ask about the results. Guarantee at Merit.
Wally Williams in the house. Welcome in.
Thanks,
Phoenix.
Thank you.
You can't beat it, right?
Can't beat it. Can't beat it at all. You know, the sun is shining.
You can't be playing. You might as well be here doing what you're doing.
You might as well be here hanging out, having a good time. That's what it's all about right there.
Hey, Wally, I know, and I've seen some of your stuff on TV back in Baltimore, and I know you talked a lot at the end of the year about the coaching change and the situation involving Brian Billick, a guy that you're obviously familiar with. You're very familiar with the organization. Seems like, and we had J.O. yesterday, and we've talked to a bunch of players, as you have as well. It seems like a lot of guys now are looking back on this and saying, it might not necessarily be about me, but for the team, for the good of the team, probably better for Brian to move on. J.O. said yesterday, for me personally, might not have been the best thing for me,
right.
But for the team, best thing for the team is for Brian to go on and somebody fresh to come in. And I don't know that I want to be back with John Harbaugh making me do 25 jumping jacks and push-ups, but what's good for me might not be good for the team. Now, as a guy that played in the league, you might have faced that too, right? I mean, a coach might not be right for you, but for the other 50 guys or 52, maybe he was the right guy.
Well, I mean, it's always hard for any kind of player to go through a change when the coaching staff has been together so long, and Brian Willett was there in Baltimore, for 9 seasons. So, he developed some, amount of, familiarity with what he's doing in his game plan and how he's going to approach the game. And anytime you're going through change with that, it's kind of scary for a lot of players. And, at times when, especially last year in that situation where I just really felt the team had lost respect for the head coach. They were not playing hard for him.
How does that happen, Wally? Take us in there a little bit. I mean, you've been in the league, played, you've been there, you've been in the locker room. How does it happen that a guy, and maybe I'll give you my take and then I'll let you counter off of that. Because Brian was a guy, when he first got in the league and when he first got into Baltimore, the famous, we'll grab the spear and we'll go in there and we'll jab them with it and we'll win and we'll kick some ass and we're not taking any names and, ain't nobody stopping us. We're going to go in there and beat you, and that's the way it goes. He went from that guy to a guy that a lot of the players have told me lost that attitude a little bit. And I'm not so sure that didn't start the day Steve Bisciotti sat him down in front of the media and said, you're going to be a little nicer to people and you're not going to be quite as brash and you're not going to be quite as arrogant, and I'd like you to get along with everybody a little bit better. It just seemed like something happened to Brian where he lost that pizzazz a little bit. I don't know.
And that's the thing right there. When an owner has to come in and tell you to tone it down a little bit and be more personable, be more outgoing with the players and kind of let them have that's a red flag right there. I think those things are the things that you need to have a championship team. You need to have a coach that relates to the players more. You need to have a coach who's a little bit more fiery and is trying to get his guys ready, not just going in for the show. And I thought the last couple of years with the Ravens, it was more the show than anything else. It wasn't about the guys working hard and trying to get better. The defense is going to be there, but you had an offense there that was just totally outrageous. I mean, I've never seen a more terrible offense than I've seen the last 2 years. Even with the 13-3 record, that offense was still hideous, and the players know that. The players know that, and they know when an offensive coordinator is kind of losing some of his sting in developing guys and getting them ready to play. And Brian Billick lost that. He lost that. He was not the offensive genius. The players knew it. The players wanted change within, and that didn't happen either. So that's when the players will start losing respect for a coach, when they go to the head coach and say, hey guys, we need to change what we do. We want to win. We want to work with you, but we're going to have to change a couple of things we do. And the coach did not respond to that. And it's very easy for a player to lose interest. You're working so hard out there. It is a very hard thing to go to practice, more or less, to prepare for a game. And if Brian Billick is not listening to any coach out there, is not listening to his players and trying to get a feel for what they do, then it's going to go downhill. I think the thing that's going to, that we saw in this game right here coming up is with Tom Cotton and how he had a hold of that team. It was a military type atmosphere. Everybody had to be on time and this and another. And the players say, hey man, this is too much. This is too much, and we need to sit down and have a team meeting, players and coaches, say, look, we don't approve of these things. We want these things to change, but we all in it to work together and to build on that. And that's what happened to the Giants, and they took off from that.